Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the meeting of the Havre Grace Mayor and City Council. The date is June 16th, 2025. The time is now 7 o'clock p.m. I will call the roll. Council President Ringsager.
Here.
Councilmember Boger.
Here.
Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Ellis.
Present.
Councilmember Boyer.
Here.
Councilmember Shenegas.
Here.
All council members are present and counted for. Could everybody please join me for a pledge of allegiance and opening prayer. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I could ask everyone to kindly remain standing, as it's always a pleasure to welcome Reverend Mary Whitehead to our meeting this evening for opening prayer. Welcome. Good to see you.
It's good to see you. I missed you, a blessing by the bay, but I hope your son won the game.
Yeah, he did. This was his last soccer game ever, so it was good for multiple reasons.
We had a great time.
Thank you.
I usually read this prayer, but I want to speak from my heart today. Father God, I just praise you, Lord, for this assembly. I praise you for the leaders of Havre Grace, Lord God. They have a heart for growth. They have a heart for prosperity. They have a heart for people to be happy and to enjoy the environment. So, Father, I speak a blessing upon these leaders, and as well I speak a blessing upon the people of Havre Grace, those who visit, those who work here, those who have their businesses here. Lord, you have a plan for this city. I know it from the depths of my heart. I've been coming here, preaching here for 13, 15 years now. And Lord, I know in my heart that you have a call for this city, and it's for victory, it's for prosperity, and it's for unity. So I pray all this, and I speak a blessing upon this, the leaders here, the council, and the mayor. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you and be gracious unto you and bring you joy and peace and love. In Yeshua's name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Reverend Whitehead, that was definitely from the heart. We appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to item 5 on the agenda, approval of the minutes, City Council meeting minutes from June 2nd, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Jones, seconded by Councilmember Shenegas. Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. City Council meeting minutes of June 2nd, 2025 are approved 6-0 in the affirmative. Item B, City Council public hearing minutes for the fiscal year 2026 budget from June 9, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by the Council President. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Shenegas. Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. City Council public hearing meeting minutes of the budget for on June 9, 2025 carry 6-0 in the affirmative. Council President?
Mr. Mayor, I apologize. You rolled right into the approval of minutes. I need to, we're going to remove item 13C for the landscaping ordinance from the agenda tonight. It just needs a little bit more work, if the council doesn't object.
Council President proposed the removal of item C on this evening's agenda. Any objection?
No objections.
No objection? Okay. Council President, item C, which is ordinance 1193, second reading, has been removed from tonight's agenda.
I think the reason for that was to redo some wording in there. Okay.
You think you had some?
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, no worries. No worries at all. Okay, we go to item 6, comments from citizens. This is the part of this evening's meeting. If you're here to speak on a matter that is on the agenda, now's the time to do so. Also, if you're here to speak on any other matter of city business, now's the time to do so as well. Normally what we'll do first, if any citizen filled out a form online or filled out a form at the door and submitted it, I will call on that citizen first. After that, we will call on any citizen at large that raises their hand, be recognized. Please come to the podium, and we have a 3-minute timer for anyone who wishes to speak. And so I have one form, and Courtney Bridges. Good evening and welcome, Ms. Bridges. May we please have your name and address for the record?
It is Courtney Bridges, 1666 Banquet Street, Havre, Maryland.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm sure it's no surprise why I'm here tonight, but I'm here to address 2 of the public safety related issues within my development that this administration has addressed, but neglecting to resolve. I have limited my items due to the time restrictions. First, the emergency access roadway. Why are we issuing use and occupancy permits when the Charter Resolution 244 explicitly states, no use and occupancy permits shall be issued for any dwelling unit until the final location of the roadway has been determined and the construction of the roadway in that location has been constructed. Charter Resolution is in full effect per the current signed PWA. In 2009, a new developer came in and at the Planning Commission meeting, August 10, 2009, Mr. Miller asked if the infrastructure was completed. Mr. Link confirmed it was, as well as the emergency access, which was needed for Phase 1. That was not true. The current emergency access road that was documented, final location, is not fully constructed per the Charter Resolution 244 Part K and current PWA. In August, the Street and Traffic Safety Advisory Board meeting, Mr. Ishak stated, the fire chief inspected the emergency access lane and reported back to Mr. Ishak that it was not adequate for use by the fire and the ambulance apparatus. Who is in charge of ensuring these developments are completed correctly and according to all legal documentation? There was a comment by Mr. Goins during a recent Appeal and Planning Commission meeting where the recommendation was given by Harford County, and Mr. Goins stated those are just recommendations, they are not requirements. Again, wasting taxpayer dollars for a TIA to be reviewed, a traffic expert only to be ignored and hire a third party. Second, there was a meeting June 6th between the City of Havre de Grace and SHA. Can somebody from this administration give a full, transparent update as to where we stand in regards to this intersection? Will the proposed budget set aside funding to address the required mitigation? If not, how do you plan to hold the developer currently in Greenway Farms accountable to meet the adequate public facilities per the City Charter, Chapter 2-9, as well as the current signed Public Works Agreement? Homeowners for years have trusted this administration, City Council, current and prior, along with their legal department to make sure things were done correctly. However, now I really question if the people are doing their job that we pay them to based off of the mounds of documentation that I have that I've spent hours on and the research done on this development. Stop wasting taxpayer dollars and deflecting, fix the problem. We have asked several people within the administration why there's such resentment towards Greenway Farms. We have constantly been told the same thing over and over again. We don't talk about Greenway. Why is this? If anyone in the public has any questions about anything and what I have, please feel free to reach out to me. Can someone please address the 2 major public safety concerns before somebody's killed? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, is the only pre-filled out form I had. Please raise your hand, be recognized if you wish to speak. Yes. Good evening and welcome. Maybe please have your name and address for the record.
Jennifer Joseph, 556 Alliance Street, Havre de Grace.
Welcome.
Hi, it's the end of the school year, so I'm checking on my stop sign for Alliance and Stokes. Any updates? Any movement with that?
So there was discussion with the previous director of DPW, and there was inspections conducted and so on and so forth. And then I think it kind of boiled down to either stops. There's still discussions with either a stop sign or maybe even like a crosswalk there. And if you notice too that the big, what was the prickly tree?
The holly tree's gone.
Thank you, the holly. I don't know how I forgot holly, but the holly tree has been removed. It actually kind of lets us be able to see a little bit better. However, it's not dead, so I know that we are still discussing. I know I am still discussing, so it's not foregone.
Okay.
Actually, the stop signs are issued by the Director of Public Works, he's the only one not here this evening. I would have asked him I apologize.
All right.
Very well aware with your request. I would have, he's under the weather this evening, that's why he couldn't make it, but I
All right,
apologize, we can't go right to the source, but
Thank you, I'll follow up. Thanks.
Thank you, neighbor.
Ms.
We'll look
Joseph,
into it.
Ms. Joseph, if you wanted to mention the other.
Oh, yes. I am on the Arts Commission, and we will be having an art contest, an art poster contest for all Havre Grace kids. So Meadowvale, Havre Grace Elementary School, Middle School, and the high school. So the contest is to create, this is the 37th year of the Children's Art Festival in Havre Grace. And so the idea is for the kids of each school level to create a piece of art that will be then part of the poster that will advertise the Children's Art Festival. So we are putting that out to everyone, and I don't know if I said homeschool kids as well, but we do have a large population of homeschool kids that we also want to include in the contest. So I think it's posted on the commission's Facebook page, but I'm not sure yet. But hopefully we can get it out to the schools at least and the teachers before the end of the year. And if there's anything else that you can do, whether it's put it on the web page or anything, but to promote this contest, it would be really great.
thank you. Please raise your hand and be recognized if you wish to address the council. Yes, sir. Good evening and welcome. May you please have your name and address for the record.
Charlie Mike, 1413 Superior Street, Havre Grace.
Welcome.
Thank you. Last Monday, my wife Tina and I attended the public hearing on the city's proposed 2026 budget. The hearing was supposed to have been live streamed, recorded for citizen viewing. Unfortunately, administration chose not to do this for cost-saving measures. 23 people attended this hearing, about 20 more than usually show up. 10 citizens felt strongly enough to speak. Each one had serious issues and concerns about 2 items: professional services, item 01-1091-6276 on the budget, and the accounting practices of the Star Center, which this year were all included in city-sponsored events, item 000146-23. We have many concerns with increases in spending with this administration is putting forward. However, for the sake of my 3-minute time, I'm not going to get into the rest of that. But I will say this, and I've said this before here. You, the city council, are voted in to serve us, the citizens of Havre Grace, not the mayor, not a special interest. When citizens bring forward informed, educated comments to the council, it is the council's obligation to listen, question, and act upon these comments, ideas, or opinions in the spirit that they were presented. It may not be popular to disagree with the mayor, but for the citizens' sake, that is what the council may have to do. After the meeting last week, we sent an email to each council member as well as the mayor. Sadly, only 2 out of you 7 had the common courtesy to answer our email. Not even a simple acknowledgement of receipt was sent. Just silence. We, the citizens of Havre Grace, deserve better than that. We also deserve a much better budget than this one that you will vote for tonight. We will be waiting and watching this coming year to see what changes, if any, you will make to this budget for this year, and then going forward after that, what changes will be made, especially and the aforementioned major items of concern. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're still on item number 6, comments from citizens. If you wish to speak, please raise your hand. Yes, sir. Good evening and welcome. May we please have your name and address for the record?
My name is Michael Hayden, 108A Market Street.
Welcome.
Before I get started with my remarks regarding Greenway Farms, I can tell you that I thought I was a goner out there coming down 40 and a person making a left-hand turn on the Greenway Farms, and fortunately somehow they saw what they had done, and they did a very good job of avoiding the accident. So that is a dangerous intersection. I think we all know that. I want to talk about tonight the general professional services contract tonight, and I have a sheet here that there was a talk on, and it had future goals for the contract. And the future goals were government transparency, operational and budget efficiencies, community and intergovernmental relations, executive leadership, staff morale, and welfare. And I'm going to comment, and then I'm not going to comment in order. But with executive leadership, I understand, I don't really know the general. I know everyone seemed to be very pleased with him out on APG, and that he is a proven leader and has shown executive abilities, probably is an excellent mentor. Community and intergovernmental relationships. We certainly want to do this. The problem here is that he worked for DOD. It would be a lot better if he worked for the state or HUD or another agency where we could be getting funding from. I don't know how much good DOD can do us. I mean, I'm glad that we have a good relationship with DOD, but that brings me to operational and budgeting efficiencies. If we're not getting money, if he's not bringing money in through grant money, you know, we're paying $196,000. I did quick calculation. If it's 20 hours a week that he's giving us, that's almost $200 an hour. Of course, we have no idea how many hours he is working, but that's quite a bit of money there. Staff morale. In my experience, staff morale is highest when the staff feels valued and they believe they are being heard. So hiring somebody at 3 times plus their salary to give their opinion versus listening to the people inside your building, I don't quite see how that helps with staff morale. And finally, the transparency. Okay, clause 4, 5, and 6 prohibit the gentleman from coming in and talking or showing any work papers, discussing anything without the express approval of the mayor. So I don't see how that helps with transparency at all. Now you can, I understand, have him, release him from that clause and have him speak, and I wish he would. That's my comments, and I thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Okay, we're still under public comment from citizens. Please raise your hand and be recognized. Yes, ma'am. Good evening and welcome. May we please have your name and address for the record?
Thank you. Good evening. I am Dr. Faith Williams, 152 Powhatan Street, Greenway Farm.
Welcome.
Thank you. So I'm just coming to comment on the traffic study. So in view of the above recommendation of the traffic study, that signalization be installed at the intersection if Greenway Farms development proceeds as planned. As the Greenway Farms development continues to develop, the approach volumes on Martha Lewis Boulevard will increase and the need for signalization will increase. We've been talking about this for some time now. So the development has already proceeded as planned, and we are more than halfway through the 296 homes in this study. Where are we with securing funding? Because we keep coming back talking about it, but we're not getting an answer. So in all fairness with transparency, and you know, you all's time is important, our time is important also, right? And we're all in this together because we all live in Harford County together, right? Havre de Grace together. So, you know, I think it's only fair to be transparent about, that's one of the issues what you all plan to do about that light. We've talked about it over and over. You've seen accidents there. And even now, I know you all put that little, you know, the little yellow sticks there, but still, I've seen people not even go the right way, still continually. So we just want to know where is it now? You know, is there security? Is there funding? You have that big old contract for someone who doesn't even live here. So we live here and we want to be safe. So what are we doing? Can someone answer that question? Anyone? I guess the silence means no. But we're going to keep paying our tax dollars, and maybe one day you all will listen to us. We had a very nice prayer, you know, and I think that
Have you had a conversation with Director of Administration or the City Attorney about this?
Yes, we have.
Actually, it's gone back a year and a half.
Okay.
Yes. This is not anything new. We all know that. We come and we talk about it over and over. I'm just a new face.
Zishak, is there any update since the last time you've talked to him on this matter?
We continue to be in communications with the state highway. We continue to be in communications with the developer. We have legal constraints on what we can or can't do, and whether the citizens like to admit that or want to hear it, that's the situation. I do not need to release my legal opinion to the public. That is something between myself and the client. That is attorney-client privilege information. But everything that has been written, we have taken into consideration, and we are looking at all possible options. So there's been no updates since previously. From the last communication we had, we were still looking at the possibility of moving the emergency access road to a more suitable location, and that was treated with criticism from the community before we even got started on really looking into it. So the city internally is looking at things. We don't have to, every thought that pops in the city attorney's head doesn't have to be disclosed to the public, and that's kind of where we're at. And early on, the community threatens suing the city over that location, that intersection. That, I have the emails, ma'am. And so the... The bridge was fully inspected and found to pass inspection.
But I don't think it's a matter of the bridge, you know, failing. It's about the safety, because the more they'll continue to build back there, right?
Hold on, one second. This isn't a debate, this is a comment, but I'm asking Ms. Ishak to update.
There's no
It's an update
updates.
from the city attorney.
Whatever you were
Okay,
told
that's
before,
fine.
yeah, we have not made any movement one way or the other. We are still evaluating all potential options. It's not as easy as shutting down the developer today and saying you can't do X, Y, Z. That's not the way the law is. If we did that, we'd be in a lawsuit tomorrow. And not only that, that would be to the disadvantage of not just your community, because the development wouldn't get done with or without a light, and the rest of the community would be paying the legal fees to defend a lawsuit brought by Greenway Farms potentially if we shut them down. So there are a lot more things to consider than just this is what a need is. When that road was built, when that community was built, it complied with the Harford County Road Code. There were laws that were followed at the time, and now that community's been there approved for 20 years, 25 years. There's also statute of limitations. I mean, I can go down the list. But it's not as black and white as everybody likes to say, and the city is looking into it, and we are constrained by attorney-client privilege communications from disclosing fully what we're doing behind the scenes. But the council members have considered your concerns and have raised them with me, and we're doing the best we can. It's a very complicated situation. But there's no updates from the last communications that we had. Somebody obviously heard we had a meeting with SHA. Yes, we did. We had a meeting with them. There was no resolution, but we had a meeting with them. There's no update. We had a meeting with them. So we're still looking at options.
Okay, well, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed on that. And I do understand you saying it's not your responsibility to let the community know what's going on. Maybe there at some point can be a public hearing where the community could find out, what is going on as you continue to work together to move forward. Because, and I understand it's not, black and white. Nothing's really black and white, especially when you're dealing with something like that, right? Like you said, you have the developers to deal with, you have all these things to deal with. And developer has changed now since before, and it wasn't done before it was completed, right? So it's a new developer, which also caused more problems and concerns because it wasn't done when it was supposed to be done in the beginning, right? Get it, understand. But if we could be continue to make, aware, because it is our safety, we just don't want anything to happen. And I appreciate what you are doing. And if you can, maybe have a public hearing, just so we can know, what you all are working on, maybe what you're considering, so that it's not a legality, that you can tell us what you can tell us. That way, maybe it can help ease us, because we do live there, we are taxpayers here also. And some of them have children. We just want the safety, that's all. But thank you so much for your response. I really do appreciate you even taking the time to give one. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Jones?
Yeah, and I just want to make clear that, oftentimes I hear folks coming up here and saying the council doesn't care and we're not doing anything. And I just want to assure you as well that is not the case. Each one of us have asked a lot of questions. We're always asking questions. We understand that the importance of this to you. So I just want to make that clear, that point clear, that there is not one council member on here who does not ask these questions, are not asking questions, and trying to find a resolution for your community. Thank you.
And Mayor, if I might, and I'll just echo those sentiments as well. And I believe you were here on the 9th of this month, and you had read a statement into the record. So I appreciate your engagement, and the person up here on the dais understand that the council is actually having daily conversations about these kind of things. So you may not hear about it, but we certainly do all the time. But so thank you for your comments.
Thank you both. And I didn't never say that you are. I don't think I said that. I know some of you all do. Been interacting with you all. So no, I didn't say that. But thank you both for the comment. I really appreciate your support.
Okay, thank you. And thank you very much, Mrs. Shack, for the update. Okay, we're still under public comment. Please raise your hand, be recognized. You wish to address the council. Okay, any comments from the council? Any more comments from the council? Councilmember Ware.
I do. Chief, is it possible for us to increase the enforcement at that intersection of Route 40 and Greenway Farms to make sure that the people are, because I think part of it is that people are not using that intersection correctly or not crossing in a, with the enforcing the law, just making sure that people are doing it correctly and they're not acting in a way that puts others' lives in jeopardy.
I mean, yeah, we're in that area on a regular basis. We've had speed complaints on Martha Lewis. Our officers are always in that area, but I'll make them aware of the concerns about the intersection.
Because I think a lot of it can be adjusted. We have the exact same type of scenario a little bit further down at the Bully Rock intersection. We just don't hear as many complaints at that intersection. It's the same one. So it makes me wonder if this is a large part behavioral type of problem on people have gotten used to crossing in a certain way, and that's causing problems. Thank you.
Councilmember Shenanigans.
Thank you, Mayor. I was also wondering, Chief, is there a way we could do a PSA, a public service announcement to the community regarding the sawtooth directions? Because I think sometimes people get confused. And I think that might be a cause of sometimes people taking their eyes off the road. So is there a way that there could be a visual drawing or anything posted on the website for people to kind of look at it from when they're not on the road to make a, thought about their driving skills?
I mean, we're up for anything. If we can always look at trying to put something on social media. Obviously, that's going to have a limited footprint in the community there. But anyway, again, we're trying to help the situation there as much as we can.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, very well. We'll move on with this evening's agenda. We're going to go to appointments, item 7, Ethics Commission appointment. Council President.
Mayor, Council, citizens all, I move to appoint Ed Guarono to the
Council, I have a motion by the Council President, second by Councilmember Boyer. This is for the appointment of Mr. Ed Guarono to the Ethics Commission. Questions or comments? Council President.
I apologize earlier, I didn't have my mic on, but Mr. Guarono is a very nice gentleman. He's very astute. He's active on the Planning Commission, and I think he'll make an excellent addition to the Ethics Commission.
Thank you very much, Council President. Any other questions or comments? Okay, Council, this is, sorry, Councilmember Schnagus.
I would also like to add that Ed Guarono, I work with him on the Planning Commission, and he has been an upstanding citizen. He listens and he makes sound decisions when making votes on the Planning Commission. I do believe he would be a great addition to the Ethics Commission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The appointment of Mr. Ed Guarono to the Ethics Commission carries 6-0 in the affirmative. Item B, Youth Commission appointments. Councilmember Ellis.
I would like to ask the council for the consent calendar to approve all 3 names under one motion.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Ellis for the appointments of Jennifer Joseph, Joanne Teal, and Ed Worthington to the Youth Commission.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Schnagus. Any questions or comments?
I would like to make a comment. I know all 3 people individually, and serving on the youth commission in the past, I'm excited to see 3 more people step up to try to serve the youth in the community. And I know ever since I've been on the youth commission that they've been short-staffed. So I'm excited to see what happens with having a bigger staff on the team. So thank you, each of you, for stepping up.
Well said.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Schnagus?
I would also like to add that the Youth Commission is a mighty force, and I know that I have personally worked with Joanne Teal in other volunteer positions, and I know Jennifer from the community. I'm looking forward to getting to know Ed as he is on the Youth Commission. I help out on occasion, especially with refuel for school. And I know that the Youth Commission does a lot of other activities throughout the year, so we are looking forward to having you there, all 3 of you serving with the Youth Commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the comments. Any further comments? Okay, Council, this will be for the appointment of the Youth Commission members. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The appointment of Ms. Jennifer Joseph, Ms. Joanne Teal, Mr. Ed Worthington is approved by Council 6-0 in the affirmative. Thank you very much, Council. And we're going to go to, we're going to go to oath of office for the Ethics Commission. Some commissions in our charter, people take oaths, some commissions people do not. But the Ethics Commission is one that's governed by state ethics laws. So I'd like to call Mr. Ed Guarono up for the oath of office. Jimmy? All right. So, Garona, I wish you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I'm going to say the word I. When I say the word I, please repeat the word I, but also say your name.
I, Ed Garono,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will fulfill
that I will fulfill
the requirement
the requirement
of the office I'm about to assume,
of the office I'm about to assume.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will be faithful,
that I will be faithful,
bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland,
to the state of Maryland,
and support the Constitution
support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and I will faithfully and impartially,
without fear of favor or prejudice,
without fear of favor or prejudice,
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as a member of the Ethics Commission
as a member of the Ethics Commission
for the city of Havre de Grace,
for the city of Havre de Grace,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, sir. Welcome. Had you step over real quick and, Okay, we go to item 9, recognitions. This evening, we have no recognitions. Item 10, proclamations. This evening, we have no proclamations. Item 11, we have a presentation. I'd like to call forward the Green Team members for the annual update composting program at Todd Park, or composting program and a Todd Park food service. Welcome.
All right, thank you. Thank you, council members and Mayor Martin. I am Danielle Wolf. I am currently the president of the Havre de Grace Green Team, and I'm here to just update everyone on both our composting and food waste programs tonight. So, we will start with the compost program. A little background, we are celebrating 5 years. We opened in June 2020. We expanded in 2023. We are down at Hutchins Park. We started with 4 bins. We currently have 5. It's free for citizens to use, open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day, and you can just go in anytime and drop off your scraps at the enclosure. Every week, Veteran Compost comes and they take the bins away and put completely new, clean ones out. And we have volunteers that monitor the area, make sure that everything in the bins is supposed to be there, and let us know or remove things that should not be there. We've done some educational outreach this year. We were part of a presentation that was done to the 6th graders at Havre de Grace Middle School. We were featured in the Green Team video and walking tour brochure from 2024. Now that's been screened a few places, the Opera House, the library, Bully Rock Residence Club, and I understand here as well for Earth Day on April 21st. We also, ongoing, have additional education available through multiple channels: email, social media, our website, events that we go to, and through signs at the enclosure itself, which change depending on the needs of the program. So, some statistical updates. I only have the most recent few years here because really there's nothing that kind of it's all pretty much the same. We set a goal every year, we exceed the goal every year, and we change the goal. For 2022, our goal was only 24,000 pounds. The program was still pretty new. We took in 40,000 pounds of food waste for composting that year. So for 2023, we put the goal at 42,000 pounds, we brought in 55,000. So for 2024, we made the goal 48,000 pounds and brought in 56,000. Now at this stage, the goal that we're setting is mostly just to make sure that we are properly promoting the program. So if we're falling shy of that number, we know we need to step up what we are doing. Our goal this year is around 55,000 pounds, I believe. And so for January to May, we'd be looking to have 22,500. We are right on target at 23,765 pounds. In an average month, we bring anywhere between 4,000 and 5,000 pounds in at the enclosure for composting. And since June of 2020, we have kept over 233,000 pounds or 116 tons of food waste out of the landfill, which is a huge accomplishment by our citizens that we really appreciate. I was looking up comparisons, and basically 11 fully loaded compacting trash trucks would be where we're at, which is for 5 years and our small city, quite an accomplishment. So, challenges and solutions. Well, the challenges haven't really changed in the past year. We still have some times where we find contaminating items in the bin. There's a little picture here. You can see some examples of things that find their way in but cannot be taken by our hauler because they are contaminants. Things like plastic bags or fast food containers, things that have plastic coatings and dyes that can't be effectively composted. So when we see these things, our volunteers remove them and we make sure to get the word out. Social media, signs at the enclosure, information on our website. We keep a frequently asked questions because people ask us lots of great questions. Can I put this in? And then we find out and update. So our website has the latest information there. Pizza boxes are welcome at the enclosure, and we love them, but sometimes on a particularly pizza-heavy weekend, we find that whole containers can fill up really quick if you don't rip them. So over the years, we've done we did a PSA in 2023, it was very popular. We tried having a bin just for pizza boxes, that didn't really work out. But right now, things are going well there, so just everybody who get the word out, rip those pizza boxes up, save as much space as you can so we can all put our food in as well. And that brings us to proposed next steps. Right now, we're just requesting continued city support for our hauling costs. We have 5 bins. They are $60 each per month, so it's $300 a month for hauling costs, so $3,600 annually. For 2024, we had 28.1765 tons diverted at $117 per ton, so that's the current tipping fee, excuse me. So we avoided $3,296 in tipping fees for the landfill. So between landfilling this food waste and composting it, there's about a $300 difference for the year. And it's very worth that $300 in our opinion because our citizens and the environment benefit greatly from this program for a couple of reasons. In landfills, about 30 to 40% of all food is waste, unfortunately, and in our landfills, 58% of the methane that escapes is attributed to food waste. So not only are we helping to reduce that, but we're helping to conserve available space in the landfill for other things as well and helping to extend the life of our landfill space. So there's a number of reasons why this program is really a very valuable resource for the community. We have 5 years of data demonstrating strong usage by our residents, and we think this is the time to request again that we expand to a second location for our residents on the Hill so that they can get in on this as well, because it's been very popular in the downtown and we think it would be a great resource to move on and try for the residents on the Hill as well. I'm going to pause here before I start to talk about the food forest in case there are any comments or questions on the compost portion of this evening's presentation.
Councilmember Boyer.
I've been an adamant supporter of this program since its concept and pilot, and I'm absolutely impressed at what the Green Team has been able to do to not only educate the community, but to also make it so that you have a following and it's consistent, that it's consistently grown. Personally, and I want to encourage my fellow council members to consider this, I think this should be part of what we pay for our tipping fee. You know, it's not necessarily from the tax income, but it's the diverted waste from our garbage collection. And I believe that's where the funding should come from, is to make a second spot up on the hill for a second location for the green team. And moving forward, during my comments, I'll make that as a motion, but for you all to consider that, considering moving forward, having the green team's second location come out of the tipping fee, moving forward. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? If not, I'll move on to the food forest. Okay, onward. So the next program I'm talking about this evening is the Todd Park Food Forest. Now this started in 2016 as a food resource available to our community for free. When we began, it was with a $1,500 grant from the Department of Natural Resources Urban Community Forest Committee. That's a mouthful. Back in 2016. And that enabled our initial plantings of trees and bushes. And since then, we had some small Walmart grants to get things going as well, some private donations, and some in-kind support from the Department of Public Works. We have added plants every year, greater numbers, new species, and replacements for plants that don't survive. Some are damaged, some are diseased, some just don't make it, and we're making sure that those are getting replaced annually. We've had other grants. We had $5,000 from the Chesapeake Bay Trust in 2020 for permaculture beds, chestnut trees, maintenance workshops, and a master plan. We had a $1,000 grant in 2020 toward large informational sign and a $1,000 grant in 2022 for individual plant signs as well, as we prefer to have it be an educational resource for the community in addition to a food resource. Progress for the past year. We currently have 36 trees. There are 2 gooseberries, 3 permaculture beds of blueberries and perennials, and 1 pollinator plant bed. We have added 4 peach trees in 2024 and 2 apple trees in 2025. And these trees are cared for by 24 tree adopters and additional helpers. And we had 4 new adopters so far join us this spring. We have, for those who adopt a plant to take care of it, we have work days in the spring and the fall where there is weeding, mulching, planting, and sometimes pruning when we have volunteers that can help train us in how to do that and when it is needed. Department of Public Works supports us by providing our mulch in the spring and fall, and Susquehanna Hose Company Division 4 provides water to our tank on site. When we are not having the spring and fall events, adopters come out on their own time and they check out their plants, see how things are going during the growing season to provide care and report back on any issues that need the green team's attention. Picking of fruits, nuts, and berries in the food forest is open to anyone in the community. So if you visit and it's available, it is up for grabs. Here are a couple of pictures quickly from our spring 2025 workday and water delivery, again from Susquehanna Hose Division 4. And going forward, we again hold our maintenance days. The next one will be this fall. We are considering planting additional trees and bushes in the fall, and we will be installing some individual plant signs to plants that do not yet have them. We have the potential for collaboration with Hartford County Public Schools. The Green Team has recently become an approved partner, and so walking field trips and educational opportunities are available in the future. We are always looking for volunteers who would like to be tree adopters, and anyone interested can send an email to the Green Team to let us know of their interest. Finally, we have new leadership on this project this year. Carol Zimmerman right now is our leader, and she is being replaced by Kim Fillinger sometime in 2025. So as I close this evening, I would like to take a moment to recognize the leadership efforts of Carol Zimmerman. Carol's been a part of the Green Team from its beginning in 2012, and she has served many roles in that time. Community garden chair, treasurer, food forest leader, and for 7 years, most recently, president. We at the Green Team, myself especially, are incredibly grateful for the leadership that she has shown on these projects and for how the organization has grown thanks to her efforts. And I wanted to make sure that we recognize that here this evening before City Council and the mayor and everyone here, just how invaluable her assistance has been. I'm happy to report she is not going anywhere. She is now our volunteer coordinator, but I wanted to take this time to say how grateful we are for everything she has done for us. So thank you, Kara. And that is a wrap on my part of the presentation. Any questions? Anything else I can answer?
Council, any questions or comments? Councilmember Shenegis.
I just want to say thank you so much for your passion and taking time to go through the program with the food forest transition and making sure that it has leadership and that everything is going to continue. And it's been a joy to work on the Green Team as a volunteer and to see the food forest grow. I was just out there the other day and it was lovely to see all of the improvements. So thank you so much, and I welcome you as our new president to the Green Team, and continue to please reach out for volunteers and we'll send them your way.
Wonderful.
Thank
The Green
you.
Team is nothing without our volunteers. All of the beautiful projects we have in the city are thanks to incredibly dedicated people. It's an honor to get a chance to lead them for a little while. We'll see. Thank you.
I just want to say real quick, I want to thank you personally for all you've done and the time you took to make this presentation this evening and give your annual update. It's very well done, and I'm sure it took a little bit to get together, but it meant a lot to us and the viewing audience to see all the details as well as the great things the Green Team's been doing all year. I also appreciate your comments about Ms. Carol Zimmerman and all the impact that she's had throughout the years. The city's enjoyed the relationship with the Green Team. We're committed to working with the Green Team moving forward, and I agree with Councilmember Boyer. I know we can do more with composting because it's definitely what's the word I'm using? It's a program that needs to keep expanding, and so we can look at some more options. So keep up the good work. Whatever we can do to help you, please let us know. And again, thank you for being here and all the other volunteers on the Green Team. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to go to item 12, resolutions. This evening we have no resolutions. That takes us to ordinances. And we have 4 ordinances. We removed item C, correct? So, okay, we have A, B, D, and E. Item A, Councilmember Shenegis.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I move to introduce ordinance number 1191 concerning amending Chapter 81, Forest Conservation, in the second reading.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Shenegis and seconded by Councilmember Boker. This is ordinance 1191 on second reading, introduction. Is there any questions or comments on the introduction? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce 1191 on second reading carries 6-0 in the affirmative. This is an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Havre de Grace, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, and sections 33 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter, to amend Chapter 81, Forest Conservation. Council, to have a motion to adopt 1191 on second reading.
So moved.
I have a motion by the Council President, seconded by Councilmember Boker. Questions or comments? Councilmember Shenegis.
I just want to point out on line 33, there needs to be a change from Chapter 89 to Chapter 81. Thank you, Councilmember Jones, for pointing that out. We greatly appreciate it. Okay, so we will look at that as a friendly amendment to change line 33, the following amendments to Chapter 89 to Chapter 81 of the City Code.
Council, that should just be a friendly amendment. That's just an error, correct?
Yeah,
So,
that's
all right,
correct.
No objections? Okay. Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? Council, we're going to do a roll call vote on 1191. Councilmember Boker.
Yes.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis.
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
Councilmember Shenegis?
Yes.
Council President Ring-Ziegler?
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, City Council Ordinance 1191 is adopted on second reading.
Point of order, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to note, especially since we have the meeting being transcribed, the online version is already updated with the change. So it's what's read online now is the current reading of what it should be, not what was handed out in the packet.
Errors corrected.
Its errors already corrected.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Just to help Tamara Brinkman.
Scared me when you
when
called a
she's
point of order on
typing.
me, man. I'm like, point of order.
I wanted to.
Okay.
I wanted to add that in.
Okay, you mean, excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, thank you. Point of order. Okay. Okay, item B, Councilmember Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to introduce an ordinance concerning amending Chapter 89, grading and filling in the second reading.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Jones, second by Councilmember Booker. This is a motion to introduce 1192 on second reading. This is for introduction only. Questions or comments on the introduction? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce 1192 on second reading carries 6-0 in the affirmative. Council is an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the annotated Code of Maryland, Section 3 and 34 of the Havre de Grace City Charter, City Code, Chapter 89, grading and filling. Council, do I have a motion to adopt 1192 on second reading?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by the Council President, seconded by Councilmember Shenegis. Questions or comments? Councilmember Jones?
Just a reminder to everyone that the amendments were made in an effort to be consistent with our codes, with our current practices. So that's the reason why we're doing this. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Jones. Any other questions or comments? Council, we will do a roll call vote on ordinance 1192. Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Shenegis?
Yes.
Council President?
Yes.
Councilmember Boger?
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, City Council Ordinance 1192 concerning amending Chapter 89 grading and filling is adopted on second reading. Item C was removed from this evening's agenda by council consent, so we go to item D, Ordinance 1194, second reading. Councilmember Boyer.
Mayor, I move to introduce an ordinance concerning, or ordinance number 1194 concerning establishing the city budget for FY 2026.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Boyer, seconded by Councilmember Shenegis. This is a motion to introduce 1194 on second reading. Questions or comments on the introduction of the ordinance? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce 1194 on second reading carries 6-0 in the affirmative. This is an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace by the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, local government article of the annotated Code of Maryland, and Sections 37 of Havre de Grace City Charter for the purpose of establishing the city budget for fiscal year 2026 by designating the annual projection of anticipated revenues and proposed authorized expenses for the city of Havre de Grace for fiscal year 2026. Council, do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1194 on second reading?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by the council president and a second by Councilmember Shenegis. Questions or comments?
Just another question. I want to go ahead and add
Mayor
that
Boger?
there's been a lot of work done to this budget. I mean, there's been countless hours, work sessions. Director of Finance, I know you've been hard at it, and I know you've had some great assistance there. So I appreciate that. Putting the budget together, and although there's been citizens have already made comments about a couple of issues and raised some concerns, and I hope to actually energize the Finance Committee once we put that together. I know we're still maybe stitching together the commissions and committees because we just had the election and so forth. So hopefully we can actually develop some type of a battle rhythm of synchronization before we get to the next budget cycle And so that way we're proactive, you know, versus reactive, and we can see things as they come. But it's not to cripple or to hinder any, you know, from July 1, any type of budget to pay our officers and to fund, to keep our city operations more fluid. I'm actually in favor of approval and allow timely amendments to, you know, over the course of a year, we always make amendments to the budget. We're always making discoveries, and we're always moving things back and forth. You know full well how we're always moving things around. But that concludes my comments, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Booker. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Boyer?
I just want to clarify for people. I know there's been a lot of discussion within our community in regards to what is included in professional services, and I agree with the concept of if we put out numbers for some of these things listed here, that it will be unfair as far as when it comes time to contract them by putting out the amount of money that's available. People budget to that amount. So instead, I'm just going to read out the list of things that are included in the professional services. It starts with strategic planning, then goes to zone code support, grant liaison, audit firm, digital content manager, skate park engineering, video technical support, volunteer recognition, contract management software, employee verification, trash removal, and miscellaneous contracts. It could be anything there from, like, you know, locksmith, et cetera. The total for that whole amount, all of those services, is $601,600. And just to put it out there for everybody for clarification, what you did not hear listed there was rent or travel. That is not listed there. I know that's been discussion in the community, and I just want to clarify for everyone that the city is not paying for rent and the city is not paying for travel services under professional services. That's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Boyer. Any other questions or comments? Council, we're going to do a roll call vote on 1194. Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Shenegis?
Yes.
Council President?
Yes.
Councilmember Boker?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis?
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, City Ordinance 1194 is adopted on second reading. Item E, Councilmember Jones.
I would like to introduce an ordinance amending Chapter 25, Boards, Committees, and Commissions pertaining to the Arts Commission in the first reading.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Jones. I have a second.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Shenegis. This is a motion to introduce an ordinance. This is an introduction of this ordinance. Are there any questions or comments on the introduction? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce this ordinance carries 6-0 in the affirmative. Council, this will be known as Ordinance 1195-1195. An ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre, Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government of Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, Sections 33 and 34 of the Havre Grace City Charter, to amend sections of Chapter 25 Boards, Committees, and Commissions pertaining to the Arts Commission. Council, do I have a motion to adopt 1195 on first reading?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Shenegis, second by Councilmember Boker. Questions or comments?
Just a
Councilmember
comment. This ordinance is going to make changes to the membership size and the language for a quorum for this commission. Currently, there are 20 folks, and we've been finding it harder to have a quorum, so the ordinance is suggesting that we have no less than 5 to have a quorum and no more than 11 members. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Jones, any other questions or comments? Council, we're going to do a roll call vote on 1195. Councilmember Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Ellis.
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, City Council Ordinance 1195 is adopted on first reading. Council President, our next
July 7th?
council meeting is July 7th, and would that be good for a public hearing?
Perfect, sir.
Public hearing on Ordinance 1195 will be on July 7th at 7 o'clock, preceding the council meeting. We are going to go to item 14, old business. This evening, we have no old business. Item 15, new business. This evening, we have no new business. And that takes us to Director Reports. Dr. Ritchie, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens. So the first part of my comment this evening, I actually wanted to bring an item up for possible discussion for the City Council. We were not able to get it on this agenda, so I'm bringing it up under my comments. The conversation about the first Friday's ending time has come up in the public. It's come up in City Hall. It's come up amongst the council members. So the special event application that was approved by the City Council has a ending time of 8 p.m. for First Fridays, and if the council would like to change that, this would be the meeting that a motion would have to be made in order to have that happen for the next First Friday, because there's no council meeting between now and then.
So so I was actually going to do that under business, under council.
Okay.
Make the change. So you're calling for
You can make the motion now. if
make
you
a
want.
motion now. So yeah, so I definitely make the motion that we change the first Friday hours of operation from 5 to 8 to 5 to 9.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Boker, seconded by Councilmember Jones. This is to change the hours of operations of First Friday from 5 to 8 to 5 to 9, correct?
Correct.
Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion approved, 6-0 in the affirmative. I know Ms. Orzowitz will be happy. So,
I think several people will be happy. Thank you, Council. So just to briefly go through my comments. So Saturday evening at 7 p.m. at the Star Center, Chris Pinello will be performing an evening of his big band hits. June 28th at 8 p.m., Dirty Deeds will be performing a tribute to AC/DC at the Star Center. And then this is exciting. Registration is now open for a Battle of the Bands to be held on August 8th. The winner will be selected to open for Flock of Seagulls, who are set to perform at the Star Center on September 25th. So the actual Flock of Seagulls is performing here. Yeah. So if you would like to register for the Battle of the Bands, it is on the Star Center Facebook page, or you can shoot me an email and I can send you the link. Public service, if you would like to see them, now is your time to buy tickets. Otherwise, you will not. You'll be out of luck. You can find out more about all these events at starcentermd.com. I would like to offer congratulations to my colleague Adam Rubchinsky, who is not here with me today. He and his wife welcomed their new son into the world on Friday. So congratulations to Adam and Caitlin. And then I do have the DPW report. As the mayor mentioned earlier, Mr. Conaway is under the weather this evening. So he has a very brief report. The city tree contractor will be in town the next 2 weeks for parade route tree work. There will be 4 removals. They've monitored the trees for the last 3 years and now have to remove them due to public safety. 11 trees will be elevated and deadwood removed. Water and sewer crew is continuing with meter and meter bar upgrades in Bradford Green. Buildings and Parks crew is busy beautifying all of our parks for the summer season. And lastly, the street department is refreshing curbs, crosswalks, and stop bars throughout the city. And that concludes my comments for the evening. Thank you.
thank you very much, Dr. Ritchie. Appreciate the comments. We're going to go to Mr. Goins, our Director of Planning. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council, citizens. Just a few updates on some projects we had under review. So the Legacy subdivision, which was 290 lots, was approved at the May 29th Planning Commission. And then at the June 5th, the Board of Appeals, the Sheetz gas station at 1001 Pulaski Highway was approved, the conditional use was approved. So that will come to the Planning Commission for site plan approval, probably in July. And then for the June 19th Board of Appeals meeting, we do not have any items, so that meeting will be canceled. And then for the June 26th Planning Commission meeting, we do not have any items on the agenda, but we do have our 2024 annual report, which will be approved by the Planning Commission at that night. And that's the only item on the agenda for the Planning Commission. And that concludes my comments.
Thank you, Mr. Goins. We appreciate the update. Thank you, sir. And we're going to move over to the Director of Economic Development and Tourism, Ms. Bridget Johnson. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens in the audience, and citizens at home. A couple of quick updates. Thank you, Mayor Martin, for attending the ribbon cutting on Friday for Angels of Mine Child Care Center on Fountain Street. I think that was one of our best ribbon cuttings yet, and it was simply due to the amount of children that are in that facility. It's a great facility, and she is almost at capacity. So to hear someone speaking about having to expand after having only been in business for 1 year shows the need that we have in Havre de Grace, and it also shows that she is really doing well in that location. So we wish her luck, and we will be standing by in case she needs assistance with expanding her business. Additionally, coming up, the next ribbon cutting is for Marty's Grill, located at 114 North Washington Street. I will make sure everyone has the information for that ribbon cutting, but it is Thursday, July 3rd at 3:30 p.m. Speaking of ribbon cuttings, we're just going to have a busy summer. We have 5 more coming up prior to September. We are just working on the dates and the times. There's always a partnership between us and the Havre de Grace Chamber of Commerce. So as soon as I have that information, I will relay it to everyone. I am currently internally working on a application for our annual grant from DHCD for the facade and interior fit out program. This is something that we've been awarded consistently for about the past 18 or 19 years. It's good because this is probably the first year in the last 3.5 years that I've been here that we are almost out of money. So we have new businesses moving into the downtown business district that are taking advantage of this grant program. And we have businesses that exist in the downtown that are now updating their facades and their interior spaces. So we have 2 people who have an application in now for a new awning and a new sign. So there's a lot happening in the Main Street District. And so that grant is due by July 2nd, so I'll make sure we hit that date. EDAP meets this Wednesday, June 18th at 4:00 p.m. It's going to be a short meeting. We are voting on our officers for the remainder of the year. And then EDAP takes a summer break, so they're off July and August, and we will resume in September. So I think we are, by charter, have to meet at least 9 times a year. So we normally take July and August off. The Tourism Advisory Board meeting for this month, which would also be on Wednesday, June 18th, has been canceled, and that's simply due to everyone emailing us and telling us they are on vacation. So in the future, I don't know, we may switch the months that they meet as well, but June is a very, very busy month. We wouldn't have enough people for a quorum, so we're just going to schedule the June meeting for the July meeting. That's the Tourism Advisory Board. And thank you to Council for approving the time change for First Fridays. So we look forward to expanding our time from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we will see everyone at the July 1st Fridays. Any questions?
Thank you very much for the update, Ms. Johnson. Appreciate it.
You're welcome,
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor.
And good evening, Mr. Abdi, our Director of Finance. Good evening, sir.
Mayor, good evening, good evening, council members as well as citizens of Havre de Grace. Before I get started on the financial condition, I just want to thank you for the council members for approving the budget for 26. We're all eager to get started. July 1st starts on a Tuesday, so especially our finance department is eager to start the new fiscal year. Thank you. Start off with the general fund. The fund balance currently stands at $1,859,300, which is down since my last reporting, $491,900. Fund balance has not changed and currently stands at $2,349,600. Revenues to date stands at $25,866,900, which is up 75,100 since my last reporting. In terms of expenditures, they currently stand at 26,357,200, which is up 565,000 since my last reporting. Thank you to payroll that we processed last week. Onto the water and sewer fund. Fund balance currently stands at $6,031,000, which is up 116,700 since my last reporting. The beginning balance has not changed. It currently stands at $1,746,800. Revenues to date are up 439,900. Revenues currently stands at $18,683,900. On the expenditure side, it is up 323,200 since my last reporting. Expenditures to date stand at $14,399,700. Including my last fund, the Marina Fund 8, the fund balance currently stands at $957,700, which is up 3,300 since my last reporting. Fund balance has not changed. It currently stands at $761,900. In terms of revenue side, the total revenues to date stands at $708,600, which is up 13,900 since my last reporting. Expenditures are up 10,600. It currently stands at 584,800. That concludes my financial conditions for the three funds. Back to you, Mayor. Thank you.
Mr. Abbey, thank you very much for your update. We appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
sir.
And good evening, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, citizens. So last Wednesday, I think we all enjoyed, there was a bunch of us that enjoyed watching the Gordon Ramsay Secret Service. So, you know, it was good to see a local business and see our town you know, highlighted on that event. But part of that was a staged event. And so some people have made comments to me and some of our other officers that we allowed Gordon Ramsay to burglarize one of our businesses. So I want to assure everybody that that was a staged event, and that if it was for real, I guarantee we would have caught him, because he wasn't that slick, okay? So anyway, so I wanted to put on the record, we would have caught him, and anyway, we enjoyed it.
That was the elephant in the room. Everybody was like wondering how that happened.
I was clearing the air
Thank you for
tonight,
addressing
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that things worked out well and we didn't have to, you know, cuff him up. So anyway, that's it from the PD for tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. And we're going to go into comments from the council. We're going to start with Councilmember Jones. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, council, citizens in the audience. We have quite a few people here. Thank you for staying, and also citizens at home. I hope that everyone had a wonderful Father's Day, especially those here on the dais, that you enjoyed time with your friends and your families. I wanted to thank the citizens for their engagement during this budget season, and also encourage you to continue to be productive in your engagement by asking questions and also seeking answers. I've done my due diligence, and I'm comfortable with the direction that the city is moving with this budget for this year. There are some things that I would like to see in the future, and as we go through the year, you'll hear about those things, and I'll be sure to engage the community in those things. I also wanted to wish everyone a happy Juneteenth this Thursday. And for those of you who don't know what Juneteenth is, it marks the day, June 19th, 1865, when the last enslaved Black Americans in Texas finally learned they were free, and that was more than 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. It's about recognizing that for millions of Americans, freedom came late and justice even later. And just like we celebrate the 4th of July to mark independence, Juneteenth is the same kind of thing for millions of Americans whose ancestors were left out of that freedom. And so if we believe in that, we have to honor all paths. Over the last couple of weeks, I've had the honor to be part of committees to score scholarship applications. And we have some really bright young people in our county. I scored them for MML, Maryland Municipal League, our Hartford Cecil chapter, and also for Senator Mary Delaney James. So I want to say congratulations to all of those students in our county who received a scholarship, and kudos to everyone who took the time to enter. I also want to congratulate former council member Monica Worrell for winning this year's Good Scout Award. The award it's given to individuals who embody the ideals of Scouting America. Recipients are selected for their exceptional community service, demonstrated through their leadership and commitment to meaningful organizations. So congratulations once again, Monica. And lastly, I want to encourage individuals to join a commission. We have openings on our commissions, and I've been successful during my term to bring on 7 volunteers to the Arts, the Planning, and Historic Preservation Commissions. There are people from different backgrounds that we normally wouldn't see or wouldn't engage, and also people who, I just learned this term coming on this council, are up the hill. I didn't know that was a thing. So, up the hill. We have current openings. If you are interested, please apply. We need a great mix of all of the folks in our communities. We have openings on the Arts Commission, Cultural Exchange Commission, Historic Preservation Commission, Independence Day Commission, and the Youth Commission. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you very much for your comments, Councilmember Jones. We're going to go to comments from Councilmember Boyer.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me get to the thing. As I said, whereas the Havre Grace Green Team has proven the effectiveness of the composting program with over 116 tons of waste diverted from the landfill and turned into beneficial soil to benefit the environment, I move to recommend to the mayor and that the mayor and administration work with the Green Team to establish a second location for the Green Team's compost program, and with the funding for the program to come from the fees collected for waste disposal.
Second.
Sorry.
Do we need a motion for that?
There's 2 actions?
They can just request it. They don't.
No, it was
I
just
have
one
a
action.
motion and a
The motion was
and
to
seconded.
recommend.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a motion by Councilmember Boyer, second by Councilmember Snegas. Questions or comments?
Question?
Go ahead.
Do we need a motion for that? Couldn't we just request it for the mayor, or just you want a formality of doing it? That's fine.
I want to make sure it gets done.
Cool.
Well, my only question is, are we allowed to use those funds from the tip and fee for that? That's what I don't know yet.
Well, she's making a request. She's making a motion to request that the mayor.
I recommend that the mayor and administration work with the Green Team to establish a second location
Okay,
with the funding
got
for the
that.
program coming from the fees collected for the waste disposal. If the mayor comes back to decide that that money cannot be used for
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
that, then come back and then we can redirect it.
Yeah, I think
And we
it's a,
could take it from a
Council
budget line.
member,
I think it's a
my understanding is
recommendation.
that the tipping fees are, a pass-through. So
The
it
what?
goes.
Say that again?
It's a pass-through. So all the revenues that we collect go straight to the state. So it's not money that the city's keeping. Once we collect it, we submit it to the Maryland Environmental Services.
All of it?
All of it.
Well, then if we're having a that is not making sense to me. If we have a savings because we're not using as much,
Well, I mean, it would reduce, but, we're collecting from our residents. So I think the less we collect, in terms of usage and tonnage, yes, it would impact the overall in terms of the amounts we remit to the state. But that money, we have no discretion in terms of how we use it.
let
That's
me
my
amend
understanding.
my motion. I move to recommend that the mayor and administration work with the Green Team to establish a second location for the Green Team's composting program and come back to the council with a recommendation of where the funding should come from.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by, first of all, Councilmember Snegas, do you approve the withdrawal of the original motion?
I approve the withdrawal of the original
Okay, thank you.
motion.
Now, we have a new motion by Councilmember Boyer, second by Councilmember Snegas. More questions or comments? We good?
Good to go.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Okay.
Thank you.
Councilmember Boyer, motion for the administration to find a suitable second, another location for the composting and to come back with recommendations on how to fund it is approved 6-0 in the affirmative.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other further comments?
Nope. It's a happy day in my life right now, so thank you.
Okay, very good. All right, thank you. Comments from Councilmember Shanegas?
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council, Administration, citizens in the audience, and citizens at home. I would like to congratulate all of those who were appointed to their new commissions. We're glad to have you and look forward to you serving in the community. I also want to congratulate all the kids and teachers of the closing of the 2024 and 2025 school year. It's wonderful that everyone had success and we're moving forward into the summer. So let's all have a good time in Havre de Grace and be safe. And lastly, I'd like to wish my husband, Edward Shanegas, a very happy birthday. Thank you. Back to you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Comments from Councilmember Booker. Good evening.
Oh, I'm up already, wow. So first I want to give a shout out to the senior aide to the mayor, Mr. Adam Rachinsky, on the birth of his son. That's pretty awesome. Now he has a daughter and a son. That's pretty great. So another reason to celebrate. So Council President Ringsacker and myself went up to District 5 on June the 6th, I believe it was, and we were able to meet a young woman named Allison, who was kind of like brought back to life, if you will, by the Susquehanna Host Company. What was going on up there was the Bully Rock was having their event where they have like the food trucks and whatnot. Saxo Rose was playing, and then Allison went in cardiac arrest. The call went out. The host company was the first to respond to it. Started CPR right away, and then was transported.
The citizens that were there started CPR before the ambulance even got there.
Citizens, right. So, I mean, the bottom line was the CPR saves lives, and it's not just. It wasn't just the host company. The host company, of course, made a major impact and was able to transport the citizen and to get further treatment and whatnot. But the citizens that were there were actually CPR trained and actually saved the life of the citizen in whole. So that was a great experience to go up there and actually meet her, because I was actually there. We had just walked up to the show and it was going on, and then the young performer came out and he was distressed about it. So, but anyway, that was great. So I will always thank my Susquehanna Host Company for everything that they do, and the participating citizens who know CPR. If you don't, you should probably learn it, right? I know combat lifesaver skills, but like if you're profusely bleeding and things like that, but I will hone my skills, right? I also want to thank our police, our fantastic police, and thank the council for approving the budget so that the police can go ahead and receive some of those funds, some of those raises that they deserve, and so we can keep operating fluidly like we are come 1 July. So I appreciate that, and also want to thank our first responders. So with that, I'll close. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Booker. Appreciate the comments, and we're going to go to Councilmember Ellis.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and everybody else here and at home. I want to give a happy late Father's Day to everyone that was able to celebrate, and also a happy late birthday to the Army, 250th. That I personally did not know it was that old. I didn't know what the number was, but when I was that's crazy. Lastly, I would like to congratulate all the fifth graders in Havre de Grace on their promotion to middle school. Today I was able to see a bunch of them from Havre de Grace Elementary at Tidings Park, and they were able to walk down there and have fun and play around, and their parents were there, staff was there. It was great. And the most important thing to me about that whole process was that they were able to walk there. They got there safe, they got back safe, and I think it goes unnoticed sometimes all that's done to make this city walkable and safe. And I just want to congratulate everybody on their efforts on that. So with that, I'll close.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Ellis. And we'll go to comments from the council president.
Mr. Mayor, councilmen, citizens all, Councilman Boker, you threw me off a little bit because you said that last week you and I went up to District 5, and I'm like, where the heck did I go with Johnny? Is it District 5? In District 5, last week I went to the 5th District for the 5th Masonic District for Pennsylvania.
No,
and
different district.
and you and I also went to House 5, and that's what threw me off. I was like, where did I go with Johnny? And then I remember something. It's pretty cool. My daughter was a guest speaker at a Grand Lodge event, Masonic event for the state of Pennsylvania, and on that night she raised $15,000 that night for Shriners Hospitals, which is really cool. So Shriners is we have 22 hospitals around the world, well, mostly United States, Canada, Mexico, and we give free health care for kids, orthopedics, stuff like that. But this weekend I did go camping, and it rained the entire time. So I have no desire to go camping again, but I'm going to have to. The Scouts had a good time. We went up to Knoebels up there and had a good time. But then I came home, and I helped a scout from Port Deposit. He was looking for an Eagle Scout project, and we put benches in on Clark Road Trail. And then coming up, that was Josh Shirley. And then this coming weekend, Braden Harvey is doing his Eagle Scout project, putting benches in on Joe K Trail. We're going to replace the ones that are there and put new ones in, and he's got a really nice project for that. So hopefully we can get him through the gate before he's actually already turned 18, but he got a 3-month extension from council. So good for him. I did want to discuss why I don't personally respond to every single one of the emails. First off, we get a ton of them, and I really do try to respond to emails. But the ones I don't respond to are when people are rude, crass, or accusatory. Or if they mention anything about litigation. And that's in the advice of the city attorney. If they mention a litigation, I mean, that's an all stop. I don't respond. I don't have any more communication with them. They can go through the city attorney. The response from the council is a courtesy, and that's only if you're being courteous to us. We're people. We're normal people. And we work our normal 9-to-5 job and then come here and spend an inordinate amount of time taking care of the city and doing everything we can. And citizens try to treat us like it's our normal job, and like we're supposed to drop everything and respond to these emails while I'm in a meeting, for my normal day job. So just be patient with us. It's not that we're ignoring people. There's usually a reason why we don't respond to every single email, or if you send an email to every single one of the council people, do all 6 of us plus the mayor have to respond? Or if one person responds and I think it's a good answer, I'm not going to respond. So don't assume that just because we don't respond to each individual email that we don't care and that we don't pay attention. So I'll end with that, except for one more thing. You mentioned it's Eddie's birthday. Yes. It is also my daughter Sydney's sweet 16 today. Aww. Yep, and we got her a bunch of presents and stuff. She didn't want a cake, so we got these little cheesecake things. So I want to wish my beautiful daughter, Sydney, who's a wonderful kid. She's going into her junior year next year. She'll be doing, she's doing the Swan Creek School, the online school.
Yeah, Swan Creek Academy.
Swan Creek Academy next year. So I'm very proud of her. She's a lovely young lady, and, go to bed. You got school in the morning. So with that, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you very much, Council President. We're going to go business from the mayor. In case anybody was wondering why the mayor's comments are after the council comments now, is because sometimes the mayor can steal people's thunder when I speak, and I'd rather have the council members talk. Matter of fact, years ago, it used to be comments from the mayor, comments from the council president, and then comments from the council members. And when I was council president in 2010, of course, Mayor Daugherty at the time, he would say all these things about what's going on, and then I noticed the previous council president before me, he would say all this stuff, and then when it got down to us council members, we didn't have anything to say anymore because the mayor and council president done said it all. So I thought I'd move my comments last because all these council members work very hard, and I don't want to say something that they might say, and it's okay with me. So it's just, I'll put my comments at the end now. So when you go to vote for mayor every 3 years, it's a pick one proposition. And whether you vote for that mayor or you don't vote for that mayor, I would imagine everyone's hopes and dreams rest upon that office, that it doesn't screw up and mess the city up for the next 3 years. And I want people to know that there's been a lot of people coming up lately to the podium that have grievances, they want answers, they seem upset. There's reasons. Well, one, public comment isn't about debate. It's about listening, and a lot of times we can get back to you, whether a director gets back to you or a council member gets back to you. But some things we can talk about, some things we can't. But I just want people to know that, and Councilmember Jones and Councilmember Boker mentioned earlier, every one of us, we're only here because we want to serve you. We're only here because we want to work for you. The pay sucks, so it's not about the money. But I mean, we're here because we want to serve. And there's a lot of issues that the city deals with every day. I can understand if you live in Bully Rock, you have Bully Rock, concerns. If you live in Greenway Farms concerns. If you live downtown, you have downtown concerns. This building here deals with, making water out of river water for people to drink it, and then taking it from your house and treating it so you can flush it, and then the water becomes so clean magically you can put it back in the bay and the fish swim in it. We deal with sidewalks. We deal with diseased trees that have to come down. We deal with roads and potholes, and we deal with, water mains that crack and break at 3 o'clock in the morning. We deal with downtown business, economic development. We deal with planning. We deal with developers that come in every single day. We deal with, people that went jogging and they put their foot into a pothole and they want to sue the city. I mean, it's like, you don't know what you're going to come into every day when you come into City Hall. And then nonprofits, are always working to team up, and they wish they had a little bit more money. They wish they had some help here. And so, the pitches come at 100 miles an hour to this building, to this office, this administration. And when I first became mayor, and I'm not saying this because I'm a teacher, so please understand, I'm not saying this because it's an elitist statement, but in government administration, when I became mayor, there was only 3 college educations in this whole building. It was on the Friends and Family program for a long time. And I know, and I'm not naming names, and I'm not a man that makes excuses, but I can tell you for decades, I've seen the minutes, and I've heard the problems. This city has screwed up on many things it's done. It's done some things good. But we're fixing problems from the 70s. We are fixing problems from the 80s and 90s. Developments that don't have roads wide enough, developments that don't have proper ingress and egress, developers that have gone out of business. And I'm not saying that, we're God's gift to answering problems here, but I've worked very hard in my 10 years as mayor to make this the most professional team I could. And I'm telling you that every single individual up here, all my directors, are the best I could find. The best I could find. They're highly trained in their field. They'll have master's degrees. Dr. Ritchie has a PhD. He just got a year ago, 2 years ago. And I always say to, being in office for 17 years and being the skipper of the city for the last 10, I always come to the conclusion that there's 2 kinds of leaders. Some leaders like to surround themselves with people not so smart, so they feel like they're the smartest one in the room. I like to surround myself with people who I know are smarter than me, so I get the correct answer. Because every day I wake up, and to quote a man named Gene Kranz, who was a NASA flight director, people probably know him from Apollo 13, I wake up every morning with one thing: failure is not an option. If I fail, the city fails. We're a team here. This administrative staff is a team, and this council deals with a multitude of issues too. This council, they have committees, they have commissions, and all these fastballs that come to us, we catch them, we hand them off, and we try to throw them back. And so I want citizens to know when the budget's created, it's not, no one's up here, playing Caesar with a budget, with your tax dollars. It's quite the opposite. Every single tax dollar that's spent, for lack of a better word, is sacred. There's nothing more crazy than legalized taxes. the government reaching in your pocket and taking money out of your pocket. The average house in Havre de Grace, the average house, pays about $1,700 in taxes. I know there's more and some are less, but the average house is about $1,700. And when something costs the city $17,000, when I'm driving my truck in the morning, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 houses had to pay their taxes to the city for this year to buy whatever it was for the city. That's how I look at your tax dollars. How many people had to get up and go to work so they could pay taxes to the city, and how do we justify expending those tax dollars? It's very, very important. Nothing is just thrown at something without haphazard. Now, you know, there's a lot of talk about the downtown restoration project. Of course, that was federal ARPA money, and I hope that is I hope that's going to be a once in a century thing that's going to, redefine the city. The Star Center, the Opera House, the events in the city. I believe in my heart that we are an arts and entertainment designated city. I believe there's things that people want to see. I've said to the citizens many times, it's on a 5-year program. If we can make the Star Center at least to be self-sustaining, and we're getting there. It's getting better and better every year. But it's an investment, and if it becomes an albatross, we'll have to reevaluate it. But I will give it 5 years of a good, honest go at it, because I believe from the people I've heard that they love the fact that they can take, their significant other to get a dinner, and they can go see a play, to go see a concert, because they all tell me this is the kind of town I want to live in, a town where there's art. Baseball fields, food forests, compost collection centers, dog parks, playground equipment. I wish I had the money for all that stuff. And then my greatest issue I'm dealing with now, and God bless the patience of these men and women, is my employees now need some attention. My police are extremely underpaid. The lowest by far. I mean, the entry-level salary for a police officer is about $52,000. Well, with this budget that just got passed tonight, there's a 10% increase in that. But Aberdeen's like 66. Who wants to come here when you go to Aberdeen? And these police officers, they have to go to the training for police academy. Captain, how long is the police academy? 6 months. So we all enjoy our quality of life. We all enjoy what we feel to be a pretty safe city. I mean, it's a city. I mean, you're still going to have your bicycle stolen sometimes, but I mean...
Gordon Ramsay breaking into places.
Gordon Ramsay breaking into places. So I have a list of restaurants he can break into, but we believe that Havre de Grace is a safe city. We must invest in that. We believe that the men and women who pave the streets and clean the parks and do all the weeding of the mulch beds at Veterans Park. Has anybody seen how pretty the sign is when you're coming in from Route 40, heading east, and you pick up Route 7 just across the street from Adams Chevrolet? It says, "Welcome to Havre de Grace," and how beautiful the flowers are? I mean, that's not by accident. There's people that care enough about that. And the reason I'm saying all this is I just want people to know everyone's entitled to an opinion. And look, I've been teaching government for 27 years. To 8th graders. Nobody cares more about the First Amendment than I do. All your amendments, all your rights. And everyone has a right to an opinion. Just because we're not taking exact action on what someone says doesn't mean we're obtuse. We're listening, we have to weigh, but I tell my students all the time, we are not a democracy, we're a representative government, and people elect representatives that these council members have access to information that the casual citizen does not. There's no information that's, prohibited, but they have access to information with their commissions or committee meetings that the casual citizen does not have access to. And these council members make these decisions based on that. So again, I just wanted to say this because we're starting a new fiscal year. In the last couple meetings, there's been people talking about the budget, which is great. I'm glad people are getting interested in it. But I want everyone to know that I take tax dollars extremely seriously. And I understand, it's crazy. It's a big deal. I mean, it's almost like it doesn't make sense. You pay the most money to the federal government, then the second most to the state, and the third most to the county, the least to the city of Havre de Grace. But the city of Havre de Grace is what takes care of everything. You pick up the phone and you need a fire truck, and the fire truck says City of Havre de Grace. You pick up the phone and you says, I'm flushing my toilet and it's not leaving, and you know, the sewer truck says City of Havre de Grace. Call the police, City of Havre de Grace. So we're doing what we can with what we got. But I'm telling you this, I believe in my heart we're probably more successful now than we've ever been in our history. We've got a lot done. I'm very proud of the city. I'm proud of how far we've come in 10 years. Everything I'm saying is not a doom and gloom speech. It's just saying we're doing our best, but I think we've done well. And although we can all disagree on some of the choices we made, I'd like to think that most of us can agree that we're in a good place right now. And it's just going to get better. We're going to keep improving. We're not going to rest on our laurels. So I'm sorry for being long-winded, but I know sometimes people wonder, you know, does a mayor even have a thought? Because sometimes I don't say much, because I let my council members speak. You know, I like my council members speaking. They're the ones that carry a lot of the burden of making legislative choices. With that said, I want to piggyback on what Councilmember Ellis said, and happy birthday to the United States Army, 250 years on June 14th. So the Army was born on June 14th in 1775, not to be confused with Flag Day that came 2 years later in 1777. So the Army is actually older than the flag. But I was just telling my students the other day, I mean, it's really amazing when you think about, you know, we call it George Washington's Army sometimes, because George Washington was the first commander-in-chief of the Army, the Continental Army. And not only did he beat the British once, but he beat the British twice, the most powerful army in the world, some could argue at the time. That army, the Army of the Republic, Abraham Lincoln's army, was the army that kept the Union together and also liberated millions of enslaved people, that army. That army was used 70 years, 60 years later to end a bloody war in Europe, World War I. And then 20 years later, that army was asked once again to head overseas and liberate an entire continent. And then, unbeknownst to them, they liberated genocide from people who were being killed by the millions. And that army's since been used to, you know, spread the democracy, whatever you want to call Korea, Vietnam. You know, spread democracy, stop communism, but more importantly, keep the world safe from those who want to do danger to us with terrorists and terrorism, things like that. So it's quite an army when you think about it. And, you know, they take their orders, and not all their orders have been unicorns and lollipops. I mean, if any Native American friends talk to me right now, forgive me, understand. But in general, I'm very proud of our Army and proud of our country. I think 250 years is very impressive. The Marine Corps was, the Navy was founded, I think, in October of that year, and the Marine Corps was founded in November. But right now we're talking about the Army. And very proud of the United States Army, and we hope that our Army is only used forever for the greatest and most noblest purposes, an army of freedom, an army of good. Also want to say a great man, Havre de Grace volunteer, passed away last week. His name is R. Madison Mitchell, Jr., most of them known as Mitch. And his viewing was last Friday. And a lot of people know Mr. Mitch because he was a great volunteer at our visitor center for many, many years. He was born in Havre de Grace, I believe in 1934, and lived here his entire life and raised a great family and a great impact to our community, and he'll be greatly missed. And once again, I want to say congratulations to my senior aide, Adam Rosinski. He had on the birth of his son. His son's name is Graham Hudson Rybczynski. Graham Hudson. So, pretty cool name. And finally, council members, your commission assignments will be out this week. With that said, thank you everybody for listening to a long-winded mayor this evening. I promise not to speak that long again for a while. With that said, we're going to go to comments from council president.
Mr. Mayor, under the Open Meetings Act, General Provision, Article 3-305, I move to go into closed session upon adjournment of the open session on Monday, June 16, 2025, to consider the following matter. 1, to discuss a personnel matter. This meeting will be closed under the General Provisions, Article Section 3-305B1. to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluations of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction. Any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals. The reason for closing the meeting is discussions concerning personnel matters are entitled to confidentiality. The city will not resume open session after the closed session, and votes, if any, will be recorded in public at the council meeting on July 7, 2025. That is my motion, Mr. Mayor.
Council, I have a motion by the council president, move into closed session at the conclusion of this meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Booker. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion to move into closed session at the end of this meeting carries 6-0 in the affirmative. Council, do I have a motion to adjourn? Item 20.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Jones, second by Council President. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. The time is now 8:51. This concludes our meeting. We'll see you back on July 7th. Everybody have a great 4th of July. All the information for 4th of July is on the city website and Facebook page. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care, everybody.